I want to talk to you about another potential scenario of how the mark of the beast might be instituted. It's in regards to a potential cyber pandemic / internet crash, a worldwide internet crash or virus. Check this out.
We all know, but still pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack. To use the COVID-19 crisis as a timely opportunity to reflect on the lessons the cybersecurity community can draw and improve our preparedness for a potential cyber pandemic.
So for some time now, Klause Schwab and the World Economic Forum have been writing articles about a potential cyber pandemic. They have many articles on their website concerning this. This one says, businesses are building a global response to cybersecurity risks. The World Economic Forum's Center for Cybersecurity has created a community of security and technology leaders to identify future global risks from next generation technology in order to avert a cyber pandemic. Now, just jumping down a little bit in the article here, it says the critical technology transformations on which future prosperity relies: ubiquitous connectivity, artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and next generation approaches to identity and access management will not just be incremental challenges for the security community. Unless action is taken now, by 2025, next generation technology on which the world will increasingly rely has the potential to overwhelm the defenses of the global security community. Next generation technologies have the potential to generate new cybersecurity risks for the world, and at this stage, their full impact is not well understood. There is an urgent need for collective action, policy intervention, and improved accountability for government and business. Without these interventions, it will be difficult to maintain integrity and trust in the emerging technology on which future global growth depends. And they have this little video here. Go ahead and check it out.
The COVID-19 pandemic has shaken our economies and societies to the core and shown us how vulnerable we are to biological threats. In the digital world, similar risks are being overlooked right now. A cyber attack with COVID-like characteristics would spread faster and further than any biological virus. Its reproductive rate would be around 10 times greater than what we've experienced with the coronavirus. To give you an idea, one of the fastest worms in history, the 2003 Slammer sapphire worm, doubled in size approximately every 8.5 seconds, infecting over 75,000 devices in 10 minutes and almost 11 million devices in 24 hours. Fortunately, at least until now, cyber attacks have not impacted our health the way pandemics have, but the economic damages, and therefore the impact they have had on our daily lives, have been equal and sometimes even greater. You see, the only way to stop the exponential propagation of a COVID-like cyber threat is to fully disconnect the millions of vulnerable devices from one another and from the internet. All of this in a matter of days. A single day without the internet would cost our economies more than $50 billion, and that's before considering the economic and societal damages should these devices be linked to essential services such as transport or healthcare. As the digital realm increasingly merges with our physical world, the ripple effects of cyber attacks on our safety just keep on expanding at a faster pace than what we're preparing for. COVID-19 was known as an anticipated risk. So is the digital equivalent. Let's be better prepared for that one. The time is now.
So in that video, the World Economic Forum presents a huge potential issue. But what they don't present is the solution. So you might be asking yourself, what does this have to do with the mark of the beast? Maybe nothing, but possibly everything. In chapter 13 of the book of Revelation, John teaches us that at one point in the future, everyone will have to take some sort of mark if they want to participate in society. Now, in verse 18 of chapter 13, John issues a sort of a challenge. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666. So I would like to present to you some things that I found about the 666 and see if it relates to some sort of technology. In the Paleo Hebrew, each letter also represents a number. The sixth letter is Vav. Each letter has several meanings. One of the meanings of Vav is to secure something. So 666 would be security, 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 or to secure something. And going even further into that, the biblical number 6 actually represents man. So in a way, I'm just saying, I'm not saying this is what it's saying. I'm saying it's possible that to secure man, to secure your identity in this new cyberspace beast system. So a very possible scenario based on what we are seeing right now is that there is a huge cyber attack, most likely an orchestrated one. And as they get everything back up and running, then the false prophet, who is most likely a technology expert, introduces some sort of new technology. Maybe a microchip of some sort that integrates you into this beast system. In the book of Revelation, in chapter 13, we see two different beasts. The first beast rises out of the sea. He has 7 heads and 10 horns. Now, it is said that those 7 heads represent a possible country or something like that. And then out of that beast, the Antichrist emerges, and he is the leader of this new one world government. We see another beast, and he rises out of the earth. Now, this is the false prophet. The false prophet is the one that institutes the mark of the beast. He convinces the world to take it. So when I see the video with the World Economic Forum setting up the problem of a potential cyber pandemic, but they're not really presenting a solution yet, but what they're calling for is they're asking us to come together and figure out a solution. So all I'm saying is that it is a big possibility that some technology expert comes out of the blue. Maybe it's somebody we know now. Maybe it's somebody that hasn't hit the mainstream yet. But it's possible that they introduce this whole new security system to secure man in this system. So when it comes to this, I'm not really dogmatic about this, but I am looking at the Bible prophecy. I'm looking at the geopolitical climate and the climate within the technology realm. And I'm just looking into the future to see some possibilities. But the reason why I do this, the reason why this is important to me is because all of this just amounts to why we need to be so much in love with God, in love with his son, Jesus Christ, and just immerse ourselves into his word and learn the ways of our creator. No matter how we break any of this down, the fact is that there's going to be a time in our future that's very bleak. Okay. And things are going to happen. There's going to be precursors. There will be end time contractions. And Jesus tells us something very, very important in Matthew 24. In verse 12, he says this, "And because lawlessness will abound, the love of many will grow cold. But he who endures to the end shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all of the world as a witness to all of the nations, and then the end will come." So it's very important. If we know that something's coming, if we know that there's going to be a trial and a tribulation coming, then what we're able to do is strengthen ourselves in the Holy Spirit, strengthen ourselves in our relationship with God, so that when something does come, we will endure to the end and we won't forsake God. We won't be burnt out and sad and lonely and fearful, but rather when something happens catastrophic, we will stand in our faith. We will know who our God is, and we will do great exploits and preach the coming of his kingdom to the rest of the world. Is that our generation? I don't know for sure. I couldn't say yes or no. All I know is that we need to be ready at all times. We need to have oil in our lamps. We need to be filled with Holy Spirit and his word, so that no matter when or whatever comes our way, we will be planted and our foundation will be in Jesus Christ. So if you'd like to learn more about the book of Revelation and some other possible scenarios, I'm going to leave a video right up here that you could check out. Until next time, go forth and bear some fruit.
Thank you for watching Detox Babylon. If you're new to the channel, Mike has a short video explaining some of his core beliefs. It's important for you to know that Mike is a Christian and is striving to talk about these topics from a biblical perspective. God bless you all.